has to be pumped up in the beginning. That's quite costly, quite an effort, so it's precious and you don't want to waste it. And for this reason, there is a special tool on the left side of the locks in our direction of travel, which you only see when we are inside and all the way up. Do you know what is expecting us there a little bit later, what we will see next to the lock chamber on the left side? Maybe you know that from earlier locks, which had it too. It's holding tanks. It's a row of 3 holding tanks staggered in height. You can see that from this aerial picture of the lock of Bachhausen. So this is the lock chamber, the main building, and then 3 holding tanks, and they have a capacity of 60% of the volume of the lock chamber, so they can store part of the water that is used for the locking procedure, and it can be recycled afterwards in the end. It sounds a little bit complicated, so how does that really work? Maybe you remember this experiment from science class in school, where the teacher had a transparent hose filled with water. And no matter which end you lifted up higher, the water level on both ends evened out by gravity. That is called the communicating vessels, and that is what they are taking advantage of here as well. And it's a little easier to understand if you look at a cut through the lock system. So that is the situation that we will be facing when we enter the lock a little bit later. The lock will be full of water because we want to go down. So that is the level. The reservoirs, the holding tanks on the left side, will be basically empty. Then we sail inside. The gate is closing behind us. We need a closed system that this works. And then the lockmaster in the remote control station is pushing a button to open the connection to the highest reservoir first, to this one on the very left. And then 20% of the volume in the lock chamber, that's this amount here, can run over through the system of pipes to the other side to fill the highest reservoir like this. And the important thing is now, if you compare the water level left and right, it is exactly the same. So you let it balance out by gravity. You don't need any pumps in the lock to support that process. Then you disconnect the highest reservoir so that the water stays inside, and you open the middle one. And another 20% of water, that's this amount, can run over to the central one, fills it like this. Then you do it one more time with the lowest reservoir, same water level, left and right, and those 40% are released to the lower end. So that is really traveling down the system and has to be replaced with the help of the artificial lakes at the summit level.